Hello, my fellow readers. Dark Symphony 777 with another fan fiction review. As always, the link to the story will be in the description below. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, click on that bell for notifications, and leave a comment in the comment section below on your thoughts of the story. And finally, this is my opinion. My opinion is not indicative of everyone in the world, so please respect that. So, the story we are reviewing today: United by the Crystal Shards by Fiery Sprites. It's a Kirby fan fiction. And it's honestly, I just wanted to read a Kirby story with all like 3 paper chopper stories. I read Mario stuff. I read a lot of Mario stuff. I read some Sonic stories, but I have yet to actually do a Kirby story. So I thought I'm gonna find a Kirby story that piques my interest and read it. And this one was just short, and it was about Crystal Stars, which is like my favorite Kirby game. Yeah, call me a boomer or something, or old. Man, I'm old for liking Crystal Shards the most. But I like Crystal Shards. However, this story didn't exactly. It's okay. It's the best thing I can say about this story is it exists. Oh, it exists. So, what's the story about? Well, it's a novelization, kind of, sort of. Can you call this a novelization? I don't know. What's a novelization of? The cutscenes from the first area of Crystal Shards. Sorry, I had dogs barking in the background because they just want to bark. Dumb chihuahuas. I hate my family for ruining pets for me. Where was I? Oh yes, Crystal Shards. Yeah, this is literally just a novelization of the first area, Pop Star, of Crystal Shards. Yeah, I'm confused too. It's like, why not do a novelization of all of Crystal Shards? Well, the person actually mentioned that in the story. They didn't want to because it would have taken too long and probably would not have been able to do it. All right, fine. You want to be, at least you're owning up to it. I can respect that. But, there's not really much to the story. This is gonna be another quick one. There's nothing. It's basically just Kirby's looking up at the stars, watching a meteor shower. It gets crashed. Ribbon crashes into him. They decide to go on the adventures to find the crystal shards to stop dark matter. They run into Waddle Dee, turns into Waddle Doo. Runs into Adeline. Gets corrupted by the dark matter. Run into King Dedede. Dedede gets corrupted, and then they fight Wispy Woods, and it's like, okay, are you gonna do nothing else with that? Excuse me, because I'm okay with you not wanting to do a full novelization of Crystal Stars. That would be kind of hard. Like, at best, you'd have to do every chapter would have to be an actual level. So what? There's 4 levels in Pop Star, and then 4 levels in Ribbon Star, plus the bosses, and then there's 5 levels in the other 4 areas. So there's Pop Star, there's Rock Star, Pop Star, Rock Star, Aqua Star, Jungle Star, Shiver Star, and then Ribbon Star, and then finally Dark Star if you get all the Crystal Shards. So let's see, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 1. So that's like that would nearly be, if you do a level chapter, that'd be like nearly 30 chapters. If you just base it off the levels. But there's just, I mean, there's not much. There's just nothing to talk about with this story. Honestly, it's just each chapters is just a cutscene. They don't even show the fight. They don't even show anything preceding the fight. Like, even if it's like a minor thing, it's just they talk about okay. So like the first cutscene, they don't even show the cutscene of Ribbon escaping Ribbon Star, like the actual first cutscene. No, the story starts with Kirby looking up at the meteor shower, then crashing. Ribbon is very sad because the shards that would be able to stop him have been shattered, and thus now she can't really stop dark matter from doing what they want to do. Kirby's like curious. Kirby realizes, oh, it's dark matter. This thing's attacking again. Oh no, I'm yawning. And then they go on an adventure. Second chapter, it's the Bandana Waddle Dee. He's just wandering around. He finds a crystal shard. He's messing around like in the cutscene. He gets possessed by the dark matter, becomes a Waddle Doo, and then Kirby and Ribbon are like walk up to say, "Hey!" And it's like, "I'm now one big eye." It's like, "Oh no!" And then we get a flashback of some kind to like Waddle Dee talking or yeah. Where was that cutscene? Yeah, it's just a Waddle Dee watching Gooey and Kirby colliding with dark matter, and he's like wondering, do I have the confidence for that? And then him waking up after the fight, so we don't even get to see the fight. So it's so weird why this is like a novelization of the cutscenes, but then they don't even do the fight. Like you can like all these fights are designed. If you play Crystal Shards, the fights aren't really that hard. You can easily just fight in. You can easily put in like a call, like what I'll do. Like you could easily just make that fight a couple like a paragraph or two. Say that while he will slowly walk towards them, tripped. Kirby is like unimpressed, spams ninja star because at the time Kirby had the ninja stars. You don't these fights didn't need to be that long. Like they could have just been short. Honestly, the longest one would have been the one with Adeline simply because she just spammed the stuff, and then like, oh, you can even do something funny with Adeline because if she actually fun fact, if you actually play the game and get to Adeline and you fight her at the end, and she's like charging towards you, hitting literally swinging the brush. You can literally just stand there, and the moment she collides with you, it counts as a hit on her end, and she'll actually die. Like you can easily just play up that like oh, they're charging, but it's like they don't. But Kirby doesn't want to hit Adeline because he's worried that Adeline might not be able to take it. Ribbon's like, well, I'm weaker than you. I'll try it, and then just glomps Adeline. Like you can just easily just have her just jump on the head, and it counts as a hit, and she's like, oh. She wakes up. It's so honestly, it's just I'm honestly just trying to stretch this as much as I can and try and talk about as much as I can because there's nothing like this is 16,000 words of nothing. Nada. A zip. And is there anything else worth talking about with the plot? They before they leave Popstar and go to Rockstar, they meet the animal buddies from Kirby Super from the previous games. That's nice, but then you realize you don't need us for this one. You just go. Eh. Eh. Oh my god! I think that's why I'm yawning. The story is just so much nothing. I'm just yawning out of reflex of talking about it. Characters. The characters are written. You get an understanding of what the characters are. Like you have Kirby. He's the eternally glad guy. He's like, you Kirby. He's Poyo. Like you gotta understand the Poyo language. Poyo. Oh, don't you put it on? Maybe like I don't know. Kirby puts on a mustache like that. Ribbon is like the overly worried one. She's like, I never been on an adventure, and I want to go on an adventure. I'm going on an adventure, sort of thing. It's very simple. It's well done. What I'll do is he's just a guy who lacks confidence. He doesn't have the encouragement to go on an adventure. But after he loses to Kirby, he realizes I never have another shot like this of attempting to go on an adventure. Can I come with you? Adeline, she's pissed out. She's pissed over the fact that the dark matter got her again, and she's like, "I'm coming with you, so I can smack him. I got my paintbrush. I'm not afraid to use it. I'm not afraid. Not afraid." And DDD, he's kind of pissed off to the fact that they corrupt, just like Adeline. They kind of took over him. It's like, "Oh no, I'm going to help you beat them up. Come back. Now let us go. So I can afterwards I can eat some chips with my buddy Escargoon." But this ain't the anime, DDD. Shut up. It's anime if I say so. And that's you got the shy guy, you got the happy guy, you got the two girls, and then you got DDD, who's like DDD. He's like big brutish, and he's like standoffish. He's like, "Nah, I'm the king." And I do like the fact that the author tries to actually incorporate this. Like the author looks into all the other cutscenes to see how to handle their characters and uses that to build them on here. I think that's nice. And at the end of the day, even if you look at it from from a technical standpoint, the story is actually really, really well made. There's no grammar errors. It's paced well enough. It's structured well enough. It's just this is a story that kind of needed more. Like honestly, it just needed more. I think at best maybe. Yeah, I'm zooming through this. Bear with me. If you're gonna do a novelization of just Popstar, then just do a novelization of Popstar. Like you didn't have like okay. So the whole point is the author only did this because they didn't think they'd be able to finish, or they were worried that the author was worried that he or she would take too long to do a proper novelization of Kirby 64. Why not just do Popstar? Like you can you already did the cutscenes. You can easily just do the levels. The levels aren't that long in Kirby 64. Like the levels don't really get that long until you reach around Aquastar. Both, yeah, Aquastar is when the story levels actually get pretty decently long enough. So there's no real reason to do a novelization of the rest of the story when you can just do a novelization of Popstar. Like you can just do it'll still be like 5-6 chapters. Just add the cutscene of Ribbon being chased by dark matter. Have it be the same thing with her running into Kirby. And then each other chapter is just a level from just those 3 levels from the game in one chapter. They go run and meet Waddle Doo. They fight Waddle Doo. You can still have the thought process of Waddle Doo's flashback. And then he joins, and then just do the same thing. And then the final chapter would be like they fight what the hell? Wispy Woods. There he is. They fight Wispy Woods, and then they go. Like it's just there's just something so simple that the author could have done an actual novelization on just these 4 levels. And then when the time was right, maybe I don't know, do like a book, maybe do like a novelization of all the rest of the planet. Just make it its own story. Like book 1, Popstar, book 2, Rockstar, yada yada yada. You can do something with that. You can do something with that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Would I recommend this story? Yeah, I mean, part of it is there's one. It's doing the author is trying to do the most with what they have of trying to bridge all of the little details and moments from the first couple of Kirby games, specifically the Dark Matter saga, and trying to do that as best they can. On the other side, it's just so painfully dull and boring that if it was any longer, Like if it was just the cutscenes from the rest of the game, I would probably fall asleep. But I think it's short enough. It's inoffensive. It doesn't really do anything, but at the same time, it's just dull and uninteresting and just has no substance. That the only reason I would recommend it is from a technical stance. If you're into like a short story, fine, go ahead. If you're into like stories without grammar errors, or at least stories that are structured, or even if you're a hardcore Kirby fan, go ahead. Um, but other than that, outside of that, I can't really recommend it because there's just nothing. It's a neat character piece. That's all it is. That's all it will be, unless the author decides to just do a full novelization on the 4 levels of Popstar, and that's it. So that's it with this review. Dang, it's really short. I will see you next time. This has been Dark Symphony 777 and cut.